what would your 3 pieces of advice for female entrepreneurs, for women entrepreneurs be? Young women interested in running their own businesses, starting their own businesses.
I think the first is to take a friend and a partner, because being a leader is a lonely journey, and having someone by your side who is fighting the same battles and experiencing the same hardships as you rise to the top is really important. I think the other is to make certain that it's sufficiently important that as you're facing that time in your life where you're going to have children, that you love it enough that you will put yourself through the turmoil of doing both.